The largest exporter of the Scottish red deer is New Zealand. We'll talk about that and more fun red deer facts while I sketch this dear little fella. So let's just turn the page and get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday. 5:30 in the morning on Saturdays. Wow, the week just flew by. The week just flew by. 5:30 in the morning on Saturdays, when I like to do a little thing where I pull a random object from the Random Object Randomizer and we draw it and we talk about it. And today's random object from the Random Object Randomizer, toy from Toy Box, is a red deer. I get the impression that red deer are native to Northern Europe, Scotland, Ireland, that part of the world, but they are farmed. This is a farm animal for their velvet and for their meat all over the world. Red deer antlers are the fastest growing organs, fastest growing mammalian tissue in the world. Their bony antlers can grow up to an inch a day. That is a lot. My son grows about that fast. One day you're sitting there and you're holding him in your lap and he's looking up trying to kiss you on your cheek, and the next day he's walking past you while you're standing on your tippy toes and he's kissing you on the top of your head, patting you as he walks by. Bye, Dad. Sounds like Lurch when he's talking. Bye, Dad. Love you, Dad. Sounds like Lurch. You rain. Oh. But nope, the antlers grow faster than even my son. At an inch per day. Morning, Rick. Morning, Pamela. Rick and Pamela. Rick is in the chat. I don't know if Pamela's up yet, but I'm going to say good morning to Pamela anyway. She's a dear friend. I don't know. I've been invited. Rick and Pamela have invited me to a paint and sip on the 24th in Oklahoma City. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make that. I would very much like to, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to make that. I took some time off earlier this month, but I would like to arrange something else. Trying to look into that. I've been trying to get off work to go to Oklahoma. I need to go to Oklahoma because that is where my grandbabies are. My grandbabies, my youngest grandbabies, a set of paints, some tempera paints, and a collapsible cardboard farmer's market vegetable stand. They're my beautiful daughter-in-law, their mother works there's my dad, works a vegetable stand in the summer times, in the summer and fall, and that she takes the kids with her. And I thought it would be fun for them to have their own vegetable stand. And so I bought them one that they could paint. I'm looking forward to seeing the results of that. Maybe I should go up there and watch them paint it. And then my oldest granddaughter sent me a text message last night that was completely unexpected, out of the blue, of her listening to Eleanor Rigby and blaming me for it. This is your fault. All right, that makes me happy. I love Eleanor Rigby. We're all in Oklahoma, and so I should go to Oklahoma. But I'm afraid to because water freezes there. And I don't want to be caught where there's frozen water.
This time of year things blow away.
Oh yeah. I understand they're going through a cold front anyway, aren't they? Aren't you guys experiencing a cold front right now, or an unusual cold spell right now? Usually it's 110 by now.
Unless this will come up another day, you let us know when and we'll work it out.
Well, rest assured, when I come to Oklahoma, I'm going to make a special trip to come see y'all. Rest assured. Deer antlers are bone. They're not keratin. They're not horns like cows and sheep have. They're bone. And the vascular system that grows it covers it with a skin called velvet. And the Chinese have used the velvet in their homeopathic medicine for over thousands of years. And they think that the velvet cures, brings immunity. They think that the velvet it cures joint pain. And it got me thinking that maybe I should go hunt down a deer. But they have a long-standing tradition of this kind of medicine.
Unless this is a cold front and I'm going crazy.
Right. I believe that she's going crazy. I thought I saw that you guys were unusually cool, like in the 90s instead of in the hundreds. For this time of year. Maybe that was only Chickasha that's having that issue.
And it's 77 in Chickasha.
Yeah, it's 77 Chickasha right now. It's like 86 here. Goodness.
The family says, which is a possibility. It was nearly 110 yesterday, but this morning it is 68.
Yeah, see? Cold front. Because you're crazy. You said it. I didn't say it. You said that. You said it. This is a cold front, and you're going crazy. I have a lot of pencil marks here that I've got to decipher. I let my pencil get away from me, and it causes a problem where I don't know which line to trace with the pen.
Sorry.
No, what?
Pamela said, you do realize we live in the most lifestyle weather in the area.
You know, I think the weather people are mean in Oklahoma because they'll tell you things like, there's a 20% chance of rain to cool things off this afternoon. Stick with us and we'll tell you more about it. It's not going to rain. They know it's not going to rain. They know if it does rain, it's not going to cool anything off. It's going to raise the humidity 5 points. The rain, what little rain falls is not even going to touch the ground. It's going to evaporate before it hits the ground. It's just mean.
Pamela identifies with that problem.
Which problem?
Absolutely.
Wife and son are leaving me for the week. I can hear them up and around right now. They're packing up. They went last night to pack their stuff onto the scout trailer so that they could not have to deal with it this morning. They have to be at the stop at, I think, 6:30. Go to Georgia.
Yes. I read about they've done some really cool things.
Yeah.
And it's compared to a lot of ones they go to. This one, the morning, I want to say there's at least 2 meals that they have an all-you-can-eat buffet.
All right.
So this one, they won't be hungry.
You know, that's a brave thing to do.
It certainly is.
Because my son is going to this, and his friend Owen is going to this, and their friend Napoleon is going to this, and their friend John is going to this. And that right there could, that group right there could wipe out any buffet. And that's just 4, and you know there's hundreds of others going. But these guys are like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse when it comes to buffet and food. Their sole intent is to compete and see who can eat the most and who can wipe out the buffet.
Pamela says the crazy thing. She identifies with the crazy thing. She has yet to go to bed.
Oh my goodness, have you been up all night? I hope you've been up painting. I hope you've been up all night for good reasons. If you have been up all night, I hope it's been for good reasons. I made the mistake. I've been making this mistake a lot lately. I come home from work and I eat a sandwich and I lay down. I'm just going to lay down for a little bit, and I lay down for 20 to 45 minutes. And the next thing I know, when I get up, it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, because the 20 to 45 minute nap energized me. Charged my batteries enough so that I didn't pass out from sleep deprivation. But it's catching up to me today. I have every intention. I can't tell yet. I had every intention of going back to bed today, but I may go to the movies. I went to the movies last week to see, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? It was 2 weeks ago. I got up after the show. I got up and I went to the movies and saw Supergirl. And I had a good time. I enjoyed it. And I may do something like that again today. Just be me and the little girl. And she's going to be up because she's about to take my wife and son to Scouts. Which is funny to say.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So they're riding with someone?
Yeah, they're going to caravan, and they're not going to drive, and they don't really want to leave the cars at the. They go to an elementary to load up, and they don't really want to leave their cars at the elementary for the week. Especially since the elementary is under construction. I love this part. This is my favorite part of the whole process. I probably never told you guys this before, but this is the part of the process that gives the whole thing depth and form.
I don't think Pamela was up all night for a good reason.
I hate to hear that you were up for a bad reason.
Claudia.
Good afternoon, Claudia. Afternoon. Talk arting. I love that part. All right, let's get that drop shadow. Get that cast shadow.
Claudia says just ready working.
Just ready working. Doing some. Is that like temp service, where you wait around until somebody says, I need somebody to work 3 days. I need somebody to work this counter for 3 days, and you go work the counter for 3 days, and then wait for somebody else to call. We call that temp service here. Most people who do temp service here, they're trying to get a full-time job, but it can be difficult. Yeah, I did temporary service for a while. It's almost always worked out to a full-time job for me.
Well, mine was over 50 years ago, so it didn't work out too well.
Well, mine was.
We had just moved back from Virginia. Worked at a law firm. I loved it. She's doing that. She's working a half day with her great girlfriend selling chicken.
Selling chicken, like fried chicken. I'll take 2. Man, I want fried chicken now. You remind me of the 4th of July. Made me want a hot dog real bad. Now I want chicken. Now fried chicken sounds really good. All right. I moved a little bit. My shadow is not quite accurate. Problem with moving left or right or forward or back and not keeping a good eye on your position. You know, that's why they use those little viewfinders when they go out and do stuff like this, so that they can pin exactly where they're supposed to look. And some people will go so far as to put a chin rest so that you can go back and get the exact same view. I am not that person. Let me dry this real quick and we'll come back with some color. My coworkers, about 3 times a week, we have a chain of chicken restaurants called Churches Fried Chicken, and one of my coworkers will go about 3 times a week to Churches, and I tease him all the time because, like, you could have told me you were going. I would have given you some money. Hey, Jonathan, I'm going to Churches. You want anything? No, you just show up with chicken. And it always smells so good. And my mom is telling you about it in the chat. One of our favorite meals on Sundays was granny fried chicken. When my grandmother would fry chicken that I had killed. No, my grandmother would fry chicken, and she would make mashed potatoes and onion gravy. Doesn't that sound fabulous? What are we doing this afternoon for lunch? What are we doing tomorrow for lunch? Maybe Mo could fry chicken for us.
Yeah, maybe she could cook it like it. I never did. Because I always switch to mamas. Name from their color.
I believe so. You know what? We were supposed to talk about the deer, aren't we? I believe so. They're red and reddish brown in color. The stag has a roar during mating season, during rut, and he has his larynx moves. And in order to get that really deep roar that he can just belt out, and you can hear it from all across the wooded lands through the area. He has a muscle that pulls his larynx all the way down to his breastbone, and just stretches things out for him, elongates things for him, and makes it super deep and super loud.
It's from the vertical, but there's no way I know how to pronounce the name.
Oh yeah, it's unfortunately it's in a it's in a language that we don't speak. But they have a question. The translator should be able to tell us what the question is. Good morning, though. But there's not a single one of those letters that translated to English. Hi. It gives me any indication of how to say your name. Usually the Google translator that's built into that gives me at least a hint on how to pronounce things.
Emma said she just realizes she was drinking water instead of eating.
How can you tell? Because his legs are spread on the front end? How can you tell that the deer is drinking water and not eating? That's interesting. I didn't know anything about that. What makes you come to that conclusion? In the 1860s, they imported the Japanese Sika deer into Scotland, and they got loose. And about 43%, or about 7% overall, of the deer population has been interbred, hybridized with Sika deer. But 43% in West Loch Awe are now hybrids, and 50% in South Geetier, Scotland areas. And 50% of the population is hybridized with Japanese deer because the deer got out. Let me dry this real quick. HR. This thing I mentioned earlier, this thing is farmed all over the world for its velvet and for its meat. They don't mention whether or not the farmed populations have any Sika hybridization in them. So I don't know if that's the case or not. But they're farmed all over the world. China exports some 400 tons of red deer. The U.S. only does 40 tons of red deer. But what shocked me the most was New Zealand. I guess New Zealand's climate, being on the opposite side of the world from Scotland, is perfect for deer, for the red deer, because they raise some 450 tons of deer annually. They export some 450 tons of deer annually.
I want to know what brand of paint you're using.
They are Koi watercolors. Like the blue is a cobalt blue. They're Koi watercolors. They came in this. They came in this set of. This is a travel set. I can't pick it up and show you because it's full of water. But they came in this travel set, and since then I had just I bought the tubes to refill it. I like this set is kind of a muted set, and so it lends itself very well to. There's my little girl. It lends itself very well to just about any kind of color design that I want to do. I can make it brighter. I can make it duller. I can do what I want with it. It's very, very versatile, and I like that. If you only have a bright set, there's only so much you can do, and if you only have a dark set, there's only so much you can do. And this set is versatile enough that I can do pretty much whatever I want, either way I want to go. The two things that make it go that way is I've got this. It's got this this bright, vibrant, almost lime green, and then there's a scarlet, and I can mix the scarlet with the lemon yellow, or I can mix the scarlet with the vermilion, or I can mix the lime green with the forest green, or with the cobalt blue, and those things can lighten up and give the other colors more vibrancy if I need a brighter color. So it's really a versatile set. I really like it a lot. I'm not an affiliate for it. I don't get any. If you go to Amazon right now and buy it, I won't get any credit for it. I probably should set that up. Here comes my son, kissing me on the top of the head. Have a good time, kiddo. I love you. Don't get eaten by alligators. Bring one home. We need a pet alligator.
We'll name it Suzanne.
Suzanne. What a great name for a pet alligator. You know how to tell if there's alligators, don't you? You know how to tell there's alligators?
Is the water wet?
Is the water wet? There's a gator there if the water's wet. I think that's true in the entire Gulf South. You dude, it sure enough is. They've got them in Katy. Yes, they sure enough do. When it floods in Katy, they have gators walking down the middle of the street. Oh yes.
That was a news publicity stunt.
Was it a news publicity
I
stunt?
really hope so.
Have a good time, kiddo. I love you.
I love you.
That's my little buddy. He's gone for the week. Came in to kiss me on the top of the head, pat me on the head, said, "Bye, Dad." What is today? The 11th of July. All right. Bye, Char. Are you leaving? Char says even Arkansas has some. Oh, no, she's saying, okay, have a great weekend, everyone. Bye. Okay, so there's my red deer compared to the photograph. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like from my perspective. No, Susan is the Susan. If he catches an alligator, he's going to name it Susan. Yes! Hang on, guys. There's a beautiful woman here that needs my attention. Mwah. Love you. Be careful. Help your son bring home an alligator. He wants to bring home a pet alligator and name it Susan.
Not in Georgia.
Okay. All right, so here it is from my perspective. So that's what I did this morning. Tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? Oh, it's a bingo ball. A bingo ball. We should just draw the bingo ball.
Hey, today's Rick's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Rick. 39? Oh, he's 73. Wow. You know, I used to think that was old. I remember thinking 40 was old. But we have a bingo ball for tomorrow. One of these days we should just draw the bingo ball. But the bingo ball represents something that's too big to fit in an egg. And so this is a shelf animal. And what we have is a citrus beetle. I believe it's a Japanese citrus beetle. I'm not sure if it's a Japanese citrus beetle or what kind of citrus beetle it is, but it is a citrus beetle. And we can talk about how the U.S. has successfully stopped 2 invasions of this thing, this particular bug. We can talk about how the Chinese fight it with ants. They don't use pesticides, they fight it with ants. But they're not really very good for citrus trees. These things like to burrow into the citrus trees to lay their eggs. And they're not really healthy for the trees. But we'll talk about all that and more fun citrus beetle facts. Look how big he is. Look at all the details. I don't know if you can see. Look at all the details on this thing. Even the little pricklies on his feet. This is a Toy Monty toy. Really good replica. Really nice detail on that thing. Anyway, we'll talk about that and more fun citrus beetle facts tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Texas time. So you're going to want to set your notification bell so you don't miss that. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Happy birthday, Rick. Again, happy birthday. Claudia says, beetle, that's more like a lobster, right? Rock lobster. Guys, thank you so much. Char, Claudia, Pamela, Rick, Mom and Dad, thank you for your help as usual. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. And then I'm sorry to the person over in the vertical chat. There is nothing in your name that translates to English language, so that I can have a guide to pronunciation, and I apologize for that. But I do appreciate you stopping by. Guys, thank you so much. It's my favorite time of day when I get to art with my besties. I do run down here every day so that I can be with you guys. It holds me accountable to my art practice and is often the only art I get to do in a day. So thank you so very much for joining me. Be sure and tune in tomorrow, same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And then we dance. We dance until somebody says they see me dancing, because when they see me dancing, I will know that the lag has caught up to the stream. It will make sure that I don't get cut off mid-sentence without, because that's rude. Nobody likes that. Gives everybody a chance to click the clicky thingies this way if they're on the horizontal, or this way if they're on the vertical, so you can watch another fantastic video just like this one. And it gives you the chance to say hello and goodbye to everybody in the chat, asking questions that you may have up to thing. And Char says, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So thank you so much for that, Char. But again, the main reason we're dancing is because we want to make sure I don't get cut off mid-sentence, because being cut off mid-sentence is